Good morning, everybody, and my name is Susan HayesCulleton. I was due to present today for Dublin Chamber about their upcoming trade mission to Hong Kong, which I participated in last year and will be doing so again next year. But due to a small accident on Friday, I'm on the crutches and not able to get in. So instead, I thought that I would share this video with you all instead. So first and foremost, I want to tell you why I decided to go last January. I go on a trade mission every year. I do so to challenge my own assumptions, to get off the treadmill of my own thoughts and just to see things differently. But also, I had never been to Hong Kong, or never been to China, never been really, from a business point of view, anywhere majorly in Asia. So I thought it offered a really great opportunity to do that. The second thing was that it included admission to the Asian Financial Forum. This is the folder of documents that I took home last year. And therefore, I knew that I'd have a chance to listen to people speak that I wouldn't ordinarily come across. The third thing was that I was going to be able to meet people on the mission. For example, Mary Rose Burke, CEO of Dublin Chamber, and Brendan Foster from Grant Thornton as well, who is now chair of the Ireland Hong Kong Business Forum, and a range of other people who I did, as well as people like Daisy Ip from HKTDC and so many others. Also, a trade mission offers a huge amount to do in a very guided, focused way over a couple of days. And the last reason is because I wanted to find out what I didn't know. And going to a place like Hong Kong certainly teaches you that, I will say. So I wanted to talk to you about 4 key things that I took away from that mission that I subsequently have implemented, that I will certainly be doing so again next time round. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish on telling you why I'm going next January again, for a couple of different reasons, some similar, some different. Okay. First of all, Asia challenges many of the West's assumptions. It really does. It does so in terms of scale, in terms of culture, in the way business is done, in social media. Hong Kong itself has 7 million people and it's the size of County Monaghan. That is the scale of it. It's high, and it has some of the most expensive real estate in the world. We now, of course, have that fantastic, life-changing direct flight with Cathay Pacific from Dublin to Hong Kong now, and so on like that. But what I will say is, if you're going out there, if you're going to start doing business there, I'm sure if you already are, you'd agree with me, is that don't bring your own assumptions. Let your mind be open to theirs. And they have many. And open-mindedness is absolutely key and crucial. Absolutely key and crucial as you're going out there. Which brings me to my second point, and that is that be prepared to follow every opportunity, even if you don't expect them, or if they're very different to what you had intended going out there. So I'll just give you a story about what happened to us in my case. So I went out there with this business in mind, BEC-Search. Okay, so BEC-Search is, BEC stands for Business Employment Career Knowledge Search.com. And I got the idea about BEC-Search actually from a previous trade mission. But it is a person-to-person knowledge sharing platform. And at the time, we were at a beta with it, and I thought it was going to be a good idea to go to a completely new place and to ask people that I didn't know about it, because they wouldn't have any preconceived notions about what we did or the way in which they would have interacted with me. In other words, they were going to have nothing invested in the conversation. So I knew I would get real raw market research, and I did. And I found that it was going to be a bit too much to introduce at that particular time. So then I started to talk about our other businesses, and actually what I did find, and have since, is that it's Savvy Teen Academy, our summer camp for teenagers focusing on careers, communication and confidence. That one actually is one in which I saw a different style of opportunity for. And that's the one that I have been pursuing since, in very different ways, even to the way we ran the business here in Ireland. The other story that I want to tell you is on my 3rd trip. So I've been to Asia now 5 times in 2018. And on my 3rd trip, I met the GA. The Asian County Board of the GA, and over a couple of hours of a conversation, I started to realise, and yes, I was naive not to see it before, but I started to realise the huge connectivity and the business of sport. And so I since have joined the board of the Asian County Board of the GA, and I have been back out. My last trip out was in Bangkok in November when I went out to the All Asian Games, and they've introduced me to an incredible, phenomenal network, both in quality and quantity of fantastic people all over the region. And what I have brought to them is a different perspective from the point of view of business and connectivity and networking and so on to their fantastically well-run organisation. So that was an opportunity that I didn't see coming. I played camogie when I was in secondary school. I wouldn't be playing much today, I can tell you, with a cast up to my knee. But that wasn't the point. It was about what I could bring to the table, and likewise with them. And believe me, I could fill this video with stories about unexpected opportunities that I have since seen and pursued, and I'm continuing to implement. So that's what I will say about there is, when you're in an international place where you're looking for a way in which to start from the ground up, just like I said in point number 1, drop the assumptions and just pursue any opportunity that you see, because it's the way to get started, and then you can always refine as you go on. But certainly I'll be sticking with the ones that I've seen so far. As I say, they've really introduced me to fantastic people. The third thing I will say is, wherever you decide to build an international relationship, you will have to spend time there. And what's more, because I'm sure you hear that all the time, what's more is you'll have to be excited about spending time there. I have grown to love Hong Kong. It's a fantastic city. It's a globalized place. There's just so many things I could say positively about it. It's really, really, really great. A great place. And I love every time I go over there. And I really enjoy Asia. And yes, it pushes my comfort zone on many levels, but it's a wonderful place. And I just want to tell you one thing I did that I found quite helpful for me in January was that the trade mission, everybody was meeting on the Sunday night, but I flew out to be there on Saturday afternoon. So I had 24 hours to live in Hong Kong. So over that time, I walked the city and I read a book in the park, and I got my hair done there, and I went to see a show. I went to see Cats in the Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts, and I went to Mass there, and I ate the local food there, and I just had time to be me living there. And that gave me a great sense of the place. Like, as I say, it's quite small. It is quite small. So I was able to get my bearings pretty quickly. But also it gave me much more of a sense of the environment when I was talking to the local people. And it also gave me a superb opportunity to catch up on the jet lag. And be aware of that. You're going 8 hours ahead. So no, it's absolutely manageable. I actually haven't had an issue with jet lag any of the 5 times I've gone over there, and I was in the States 4 times as well this year, and lots more besides. But they were the furthest places that I would have travelled to, and you really can manage jet lag very, very well. But you have to find ways of doing it. You have to be disciplined, and you have to be very kind to yourself. But it can be done. But just be aware that if you're going to do business in Asia, that will have to be a factor. So spending time out there and enjoying it, and being interested, being curious, being fascinated by their culture, it's so important. And if you don't feel that about a particular region or an area that you'd like to do business in, it's not going to make it very pleasant. So just when you do go out to Hong Kong this time, just be aware of the sights and sounds as well, and see, do you like the place? Is this a place that you would like to be in on a regular basis? And that should be a big decisive factor for you. And maybe, by the way, it's not you that's going, but maybe you're sending a staff member out there, or maybe you'll be setting up an office out there. Then of course it's about the people who are there. Do they have that sense of connection with the area? The fourth thing I would say is, don't expect to come home with business. Expect to come home with days and days of follow-ups, and expect to be ready to get back out there quickly afterwards, as you know, as the business needs you to. But do put time in your diary to follow up. A lot of people, you know, the plane hits the ground, they turn back on their phone, the emails come flooding in that they hadn't been looking at, or maybe just skimming over the last few days, and then they're back to home mode, and then they have a folder like I showed you. This is where I kept all my business cards and everything, and then it's still there gathering dust a couple of months later, and then Dublin Chamber send out the next email about the next trade mission, and then they say, oh yeah, I should really go and do something about that, and they've missed the golden window. The window's maybe still open, but the golden one isn't. So I would absolutely encourage you to do that as well. The final thing I want to finish off on is why I'm going back. So why am I going back specifically in January? Well, first of all, it's to build on the foundations of last year. So 2018 has seen embryonic results for us in Asia. I will say that. We have got results out there. We will continue to build on that foundation in order to really make it happen as the months and years go by. But I want to go back to build on that foundation. The second reason is the same as last time, is because I can do a huge amount in a couple of days. And, well, a few days. It's 5 days long this time. And also I get to go to places that I haven't been before, like Shenzhen. Haven't been there before, and a number of the other places on the itinerary I haven't been. So I'm going back for that. I'm going back to really pursue the real business opportunities that are out there. And I've been on the phone an awful lot in the last couple of days with people there, so that I'm lining up a very effective and productive time for myself out there. And also to be ready and waiting for the positive surprises that I don't know are yet to come. I always expect great things to happen, and to be fair, they typically do. So I also don't know what I don't know again. We're now a year later, and Hong Kong has moved on. And the final thing I'm going to say is that I cannot stress how amazing the Irish consulate in Hong Kong has been for me. And I just really want to say thank you to them. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in January. Thank you.